So hello and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Saskia and I mostly make kind of student related videos, but I have a big special interest in Barbie. I love Barbie, I have a whole Barbie playlist, and basically there is a new Barbie film. There is a new film called Barbie, I think it's Barbie: Mermaid Power. And it's like a direct continuation of Big City, Big Dreams and Dolphin Magic, as in it has all of the characters in it. Basically, I thought I would give you a review. So what I did is yesterday I watched the film. I never watched the trailer, I don't think. I just went straight into the film and I made some notes, and I'll basically tell you whether it's worth watching and kind of what's happening in the movie. Actually, we'll do a quick spoiler-free section here where I'll just read you the synopsis and I'll give you a quick overall review. So, the synopsis is: join Barbie Brooklyn Roberts, Barbie Malibu Roberts and her sisters Skipper, Stacy and Chelsea on an underwater adventure as they transform into mermaids to help save the world of Pacifica. In Mermaid Power, Barbie and Barbie are summoned by Isla from Dolphin Magic to compete to be the underwater power keeper in a series of challenges designed to find their inner powers. Through these competitions, they discover whether they are mermaids of the earth, air, water or fire, all while making new animal and mermaid friends. In this fishtail of friendship, adventure and bravery, Barbie and family experience firsthand what it's like to balance the worlds above and below the sea and learn the lesson in finding their inner power along the way. The synopsis I don't think does it justice. I don't look at that synopsis and think, yeah, that kind of explains what I watched. I'll give you what I think kind of happens without spoilers, and then we'll go through with spoilers. So kind of Barbie and sisters are on a boat. Isla contacts them. She's like, hey girlies, we need you to help because we need to do this like mermaid moon ceremony, and like you need to get some powers because we don't have enough mermaids to like compete. They go down and kind of compete to find their powers. Marlo from Dolphin Magic is also in it as the villain. She's not very much of a villain. There's also, you know, they're saving the day from Marlo, but they're also saving the day from like trash in the ocean. They save the day and everything is good. So kind of that is the premise of the film. I feel like they tried to do a bit too much. I feel like we could have had like a fight against the trash or a fight against Marlo. Like Marlo kind of became irrelevant and I don't see why she was in the film. I would say I don't recommend this. I would say they did the characters don't seem like they've really developed from the last movies. And the animation, I'll put like screen caps as we go, but the animation seems really different, especially on Stacy is the one I noticed it the most. Well, Isla, I noticed it the most. Isla looks awful, Isla looks terrifying. And then on Stacy, it also looks really bad. And I feel like on Brooklyn, it doesn't look the best. The animation seems like it's gone iffy. Isla is the worst. Like she's a different skin colour. Her hair is now like 7,000 strands of hair rather than kind of, it used to be like a kind of brown blocky thing, and it's now like purple 3 million strands, and she's genuinely frightening. Like, so yeah, they saved the day and it has got songs. It has got songs. The songs, I've said, I feel neutral about them. I don't know why they feel really short. Like, I've got the times for them and they do last all about like 2 minutes, but they feel really kind of quick, but not quick in the way that like I'm enjoying them. That's why they're going so quick. Like, I just feel neutral, you know, it's not awful, it's not the end of the world, but I don't think I would voluntarily listen to these songs. Like, they won't be going in my Barbie playlist. I won't be voluntarily listening to them. And kind of overall as a film, I would say it's not the worst film, but it to me feels like a step down from like Dolphin Magic and Big City, Big Dreams. It feels like they did really good on those two, and then they're like, oh my god, these two went really well together, combine, and then they kind of ruined it. Like, I like that we're back to mermaids. Good, but not well executed. So that is my spoiler-free review. I would say skip this, go watch Mermaid Tale instead, Dolphin Magic, Pearl Princess even. So basically my thoughts kind of as we went through was, my very first thought, we will now have spoilers as we go through, is that the animation is incredibly different. Like, it feels not as good. I'm sure technologically it's better, as in, you know, I'm sure there's more frames per second, more strands of hair, but like, it doesn't work. I don't know why Brooklyn doesn't look like Brooklyn. Skipper looks off. Stacey looks awful. Chelsea looks the same as in Chelsea's birthday stupid adventure thing, but they all look a bit iffy. And then same with like the character design doesn't work for me. The mermaids, like their tails are fine, I guess, but like they're all different colours. Like the head mermaid is like bright blue. Some of them are like purple or green, and like some of them it looks good. I think the green one's quite cute, but I don't like the colours. They're too, it feels like Barbie Secret Door harshness of colours on some of them though. And also, here's the thing, right? When Barbie is called by Isla, so when Malibu is called by Isla and she's like, let's go save the day, she jumps into the ocean and becomes a mermaid. That's all fine, that's well and dandy because she's got the necklace. Everyone around her also turns into a mermaid. I don't know if I missed something at the end of Dolphin Magic and like that's a thing that happens, that like they can all do it, but I was very confused. And I'm not gonna lie, they are hideous mermaids. Why do they change their hair colour? Go from having like normal hair colours to like blue, purple, pink, but not in a good way. And like, yes, it's probably so they can sell more dolls. It doesn't work. Like maybe give them ombre into a different colour. Like why is it as soon as they become a mermaid they've got like purple hair? And it doesn't even match their tails or their dresses very well, I don't think. Like I'm a bit confused. And so when the people like unlock their power, they get a like superhero montage almost. Like they all have a go at all of the powers kind of. They're doing all these tasks, and like when, you know, Mermaid 1 unlocks the water power, they rise up and they get a crown, and then like in some of the challenges they go like, huh. They have like a superhero montage of like, I've got the power now, but I don't know. Also, there's a character called Aquaria, who basically her tail, she was born without the end of the tail or just a full tail. And she, spoiler, obviously, she ends up becoming the power keeper. The power keeper is the one in charge of all of the powers. She's like top dog essentially. I feel like this could have been a good disability allegory. As in, I feel like they could have made it more about her tail. And like, because everyone was picking on her and they're like, oh my god, you're so young, but like, no one was picking on her for the tail. Like, I know that it might be kind of be like a, oh, young people can do good things, but I feel like they could have really gone in on the tail thing and maybe had it like, she gets captured. I should have probably done the plot summary first. She eventually gets captured, and like maybe they should have had it that her tail bit falls off, but she's still able to save the day and be the power keeper. You know? We'll go through what I wrote down of the plot basically. This is now spoilers. So Isla calls Barbie for help through the necklace from Dolphin Magic. Barbie and her sisters come to help. Marlo from Dolphin Magic is holding a lecture on mermaids being real, but she has literally no evidence. She's like, my grandma told me. Marlo, you've upped it. Mermaids all basically have different powers, and they get their powers from the mermaid moon. So the mermaid moon comes every 100 years, and they have to like be at top notch and have their power for the mermaid moon. So Isla is like, babes, come on, compete to become the power keeper and like hone in your powers. Because I think it was that they had 8 mermaids and they did 10 to compete in the power keeper competition or something. Mermaids hate the land dwellers. They call them land dwellers, and like, I feel like again they could have built into that and been like, babes, you're ruining the ocean. Like, it could have been a big, I feel kind of dumb saying this, but it could have been like a nice kind of climate change littering thing if they'd gone on that one rather than kind of also adding in the Marlo storyline. So like, everyone is kind of eventually unlocking their powers through this training. So Skipper has the power of air, Brooklyn gets the power of fire, Stacey gets earth, Chelsea gets water, Barbie eventually gets water. They do it good again, like with Big City Big Dreams, where Barbie isn't perfect. Like, Barbie is the last one of the main cast to kind of get her power, and Barbie isn't very good at the power stuff. And also they go to this mermaid party, and for some reason they agree to have a power off between the 2 other mermaids whose names I've forgotten because I don't really think they were that relevant. And for some reason, these humans who barely have powers agree to have a power off with these mermaids who have like been training their whole lives to get powers. Obviously they don't win. I was really hoping that we weren't going to have a Barbie unlocks her power and then wins. I was like, too early in the movie, we don't want that. So then they have the actual competition. So all of this was like a training montage kind of vibe. Then they have the actual power competition where they're like, okay, now build me a sandcastle to show that you can use the power of Earth. The water power is also linked to like being besties with animals. So they're like, oh, take an animal through the obstacle course to show that you have the power of water. And kind of as different mermaids are going through this competition, they are also unlocking their powers. So we get a couple of kind of like moments where they're like, oh my god, I'm a water mermaid, I'm an earth mermaid, that kind of thing. Basically, at this point, Marlo and her like research assistant, he's kind of fun. They are just roaming around in this, I think it's like a lobster. Like not a lobster, but it's like a submarine lobster, and it like crawls through the ocean. They are very much a side plot, which didn't need to be there. Like they're roaming around and basically Chelsea and Aquaria, they get kidnapped by Marlo, but they get let out because they ask these like glowfish, they're like, can we get out, babes? And the glowfish are like, yeah. Did we need that? Don't know. And then Barbie eventually comes and finds Marlo as well. And then I've also put brackets, also Barbie might have water powers because we're not confirmed at this point. And then the submarine lobster thing that they're in starts flooding. Barbie is then saving Marlo, and Marlo's now a mermaid. And apparently the reason Marlo's like so into this mermaid stuff is because her grandma was a mermaid. I'm a bit confused. And then Marlo puts a crown on Barbie. Basically Marlo's like evidence for mermaids has been like, she has this little crown. She puts the crown on Barbie and then Barbie gets her powers. And then I just put, everyone is fighting the trash. Because during the Power Keeper competition, they go up to like this big mound of trash and they're like, this is causing us big boy problems. So they're shooting all their powers and they're like, oh my god, please help us. So everyone's fighting the trash. They fight the trash and they win. And then also Aquaria becomes the Power Keeper because Barbie said so. Barbie basically comes in and she's like, oh my god, Aquaria, you're the strongest of us all. And I don't want to be a bitch, but we have seen pretty much no evidence of Aquaria having strong powers. Like, I think we've seen evidence that she has powers, but not that they are particularly strong. So I was a bit confused about that. And then obviously the day is saved. The plot is a bit confusing. Okay, I feel like we could have had the Power Keepers, we could have had Marlo, and we could have had the trash. This was 3 things in one, and I feel like we didn't need Marlo. We could have removed Marlo, we reached the same conclusion in the movie, and there's still kind of, like, there's not really that much of a threat, but like, the trash can be the threat, I guess. So then we're gonna look at characters. Characters, I said, Marlo is very unlikable. I know she's meant to be unlikable because she's a villain, but I can't even dislike her in a villain way. She doesn't really have any motivation, she's barely a villain. I don't really understand why she's in the movie. I quite like Brooklyn, because Brooklyn is basically like, what is happening, girlies? Like, Barbie, Malibu is like, let's go become mermaids, and Brooklyn's like, since when could we become mermaids? Like, what is going on? Yeah, so the mermaid design isn't for me. I said the outfits don't look good, the colours are too strong. I like Aquaria. I do really like Aquaria. I think she's really cute. I don't know if she's really short because she's just younger. But I would have liked to see more about her kind of tail. Aquaria, I would have liked to see a bit more of her kind of tail, her disability kind of thing. That would have been good. I said again, I like that Barbie isn't perfect at the powers. Like, it did used to be annoying when Barbie would, like in Barbie Spy Squad, yes, she was a gymnast, but she rocks up and instantly she's a perfect spy. I mean, she's not a perfect spy because she doesn't catch the villain, but she's instantly like perfect and acing training. This one, Barbie literally sucks. As in, there's a whole montage of her being like, and like, she doesn't even push out a single thing. Like, she's bad at powers. And then I do really like kind of, the powers make sense for me. Like each character gets a power that to me is quite logical. So Chelsea gets the water power, and the water power ends up being about like talking to animals. That makes sense because Chelsea just had the lost birthday thing when she was like, oh my god, daydreaming about animals. Stacey gets earth. Earth is very much kind of active, sports, that kind of thing. Brooklyn fire, I don't know why, just kind of made sense. I think it's just because she was just so confused, and like she got angry, and then she's like, oh my god, maybe it's fire. I was like, fair enough. Skipper got air, but like Skipper doesn't really have as much of a personality as the others yet. I'm hoping for some Skipper content because Skipper's my favourite sister. And Barbie eventually gets water, which I'm surprised they didn't make 5 elements so that they could have one for kind of each character. But again, I kind of like that she got water because she is kind of an animal girl, I guess. I've also said I feel like there's a lot of characters, so it's hard to get to know each one. As in, I know that there's Aquaria. Aquaria has a brother. The parents of Aquaria and her brother are dead, so the brother feels like he has to look after Aquaria. Don't know the brother's name. Dylan? No, don't know. There's 2 evil mermaids. There's the green one, and then the blue one. Green one ends up not being evil, blue one ends up still being kind of evil. There's the blue, like, head of the mermaid land. There's Isla, who, I'm not gonna lie, barely is in this movie, might as well have not been here. There's Marlo and Marlo's research assistant. Where's Ken, actually? Where did Ken go? He was never in this movie. Was Ken in Big City, Big Dreams? Did we forget about Ken? I think we just forgot about Ken. Oh, I did literally just put at the end, where is Ken? Where is Ken? Do we know? Can we access Ken? No, probably not. And then generally on the songs, one of them, Rise Above It, has, I said, Lizzo vibes, not in a good way. It's very much kind of spoken word singing, but it's not rap. You know, I can't play any clips because I'll get murdered, but it's just kind of them being like, oh my god, we should like rise above it with a backtrack. Turn It Up was okay. I've said this isn't bad. I like a montage, but it's not the biggest bop. That's the kind of thing is I feel quite neutrally about all of the songs. They're obviously not Prince and the Pauper, but they're not even like Rock and Royals level for me. Like Rock and Royals, I'll listen to the songs. I will voluntarily put them on. These, I'm not particularly interested. I think I'm content with pretending they don't exist. So yeah, basically my general kind of overview of the movie is it's not for me. If you want a mermaid movie, Mermaid Tale 1 and 2 are absolutely better. If you want Barbie with her sisters, Big City, Big Dreams, Dolphin Magic, a lot of people like Ponytail. I'm again not the biggest fan of that one. Like if you want Isla, Dolphin Magic, if you want Brooklyn, Big City, Big Dreams, like I feel like I'm glad they were going back into mermaid world, but what they could have maybe done is had Isla calls them down because like, I don't know, Marlo's kidnapped one of the mermaids, and then they can make the whole thing about Marlo. Or they could then have like, oh, Isla calls them down because like, we don't have enough people to find the power, we need to find a power keeper, and like the generic plot but just without the extra bits, so it's just the power keeper. Or what we could have had is then like, Isla calls them down because she's like, babes, the ocean's trash, like thanks for trying to pick some up but like do better. And then like, you know, campaigning to clean up the ocean, and like they, oh my god, so maybe like they don't become mermaids, but you know how Malia in Mermaid Tale 2, Mermaid Tale 1 just puts on a tail, like they just pop on a tail and like they're just vibing and moving around and like trying to clean up the ocean. There's not really any threat in that one, but I feel like there was too much happening and I don't think most of it was needed or particularly useful. Like I know like Barbie movies aren't that long, so there's not that much time, but this one just kind of felt like it dragged on and we didn't need a lot of what was happening. Like this could honestly been like a 3-part series, like an episodes thing. I'm not the biggest fan. I haven't seen anyone else's reviews on this movie, so I don't know if other people agree, but to kind of put it out there, I don't really like the newer Barbie movies. Not because they're newer, before anyone was like, oh god, you just, yeah. No, they're just not very good. They are lacking the kind of fairy tale fun of the first few movies, and like I'm not against ones that aren't fairy tales. Like Starlight Adventure is a new one and I love it, but I feel like a lot of them don't have a cohesive plot, or they're just kind of everywhere, and we don't have one plot, we have 12 plots, and I don't care for any of the plots because they're not well developed enough. Like with Big City Big Dreams as well, like with the characters, there was not that many characters. I could get to know all of the characters and care. With the movies with Barbie and her sisters, I struggled to get to know all of the sisters. Like, I feel like Skipper and Stacy don't really get anything in this movie. Skipper gets a tiny bit where she hangs out with Aquaria's brother. I was scared that was going to become romantic. I'm glad it didn't, but like, it's very much Barbie. Brooklyn's not even that relevant. Isla's completely irrelevant. Chelsea's a bit relevant. But like, there's too many characters. They've tried to do too much and not succeeded. Like, I'm glad that we are going back to mermaids. I would like some fairies again. Can we do some Mariposa kind of vibes? And like, I want more of Barbie as. Like, I'm fine with Barbie living her happy normal life and vlogging, but like, can we have Barbie as an actress again? Can we have Barbie as like another fairy tale ballet story? That's what I want to get back to. It doesn't have to have songs. It can be like Swan Lake, where she's literally just girl bossing and dancing, or like Rapunzel. It doesn't have to have songs. It doesn't have to have that vibe, but can we have princesses again? But not princesses in the sense of like Princess Power or like Secret Door. Princesses in the sense of we're in the 1500s and this is a princess, rather than like a modern princess. So overall, I kind of say the characters are underdeveloped because there's too many. The plot is underdeveloped because there's too much happening. The songs are okay. I won't probably listen to them again. I almost certainly won't listen to them again, and I will probably not watch this film again. So disappointed, but not surprised with the way that Barbie has been going, but also kind of disappointed more because Big City Big Dreams kind of slapped, but then they absolutely ruined it, and then they did Chelsea's bloody birthday, and I was like, well, things really can't get any worse. And like, they didn't get worse than birthday, but not much better than birthday. Like, I'm not ever watching, I say that I have to watch it for another video I'm doing, but I'm not really going to watch the Lost Birthday again. This one, I feel like I'm more likely to watch than the birthday one, but I'd literally just rather not watch it again, if I'm going to be honest. I'd say you could skip this one. Why don't you not watch this movie and instead watch me ranking Barbie movies, or ranking the transformations, or one of my Barbie videos instead. But yeah, thanks for watching. I might do a video on the new Life in the Dreamhouse series and like compare it to the old one, because I'm not gonna lie, the old one, chef's kiss, incredible. Haven't watched the new one. And like, there's Barbie It Takes Two and Dreamtopia. I'm overwhelmed with all the options.